right, there we go. There we go. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How is everybody doing? Uh, get my butt handed to me a little bit. A little sick, but I'm all right. It happens. Not fun. Not fun. So when it's cold outside, it's miserable, and then you don't feel good on top of it. Just makes it that much worse. But what are you gonna do? So, anyway, before we jump into anything, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you cannot abide by those very simple, easy rules, those awesome people lit up in blue with the blue wrenches are going to boot you out of here because we are not going to tolerate it. All right. So just putting that out there ahead of time. So if anybody. For all the members, does Ed go into depth about prepping? Sometimes, if we get into that topic or subject, yeah, it depends on what we are talking about. Anyway, so excuse me. If somebody comes in here and acts stupid, please don't engage with them. Just let my moderators take care of that because that's we're just not going to have it. We don't want to feed them and make them feel like they're got some kind of power. So don't engage with them. Let my moderators take care of them. All right. So my brain is not working at full capacity, just so you know ahead of time. Oh my goodness. But I tell you what, it was just doing my regular chores today for the animals. That was not fun. Yes, I was going to mention that. I don't know if you guys had seen silver was down $30 today. So it went down to $86 an ounce. So it took a $30 hit in one day. And gold was down almost 500 in one day. Crazy. Well, the way that it had been, now I think it'll bounce back. I'll be honest with you. I think it'll go back up. But it was just like, wow, that was weird. That it like that big of a hit in one day. So, yeah, that was definitely interesting to watch to see it doing that. But like I said again, it's been going up so much, meaning silver. At some point, there had to be. The drop today was healthy. It went up too fast. That's what I'm saying. Excuse me. It was going up way too fast. Now, I think it'll go back up and get back above that. I honestly do. But that was pretty wild to see it take that much of a hit in one day. But interesting, though, to see that. I don't think that that's a sign that everything is great and wonderful, though. I can tell you that. I think that somebody's saying, okay, I've like tripled my money, so I'm taking it out, or tripled or quadrupled. If somebody bought in at 25 an ounce, and they're selling at 117, that's a pretty good profit. But that part of it was pretty wild to see that today. Very, very wild to see that. All right, guys, we got 124 in the chat already. We got 44 thumbs up. So real quick, again, if you have not shot that thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. I appreciate that. It really does make a huge, huge difference with the algorithm. So I thank you for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. All right, so let's jump into this, okay? Talking about power, right? You probably like very vague title, right? Which I did that on purpose. But I wanted to talk about our power grid a little bit and kind of what we can do alternatively to be ready to deal with what we got to deal with that, okay? hugely expanded our population in this country. I mean, I think we're at like 359 million people in the United States now. So a lot of people, a lot of people. More people means more draw on the power grid. Okay. Our power grid is antiquated, very, very antiquated. What are you doing? I got to tell you what he did. Clyde did. He just did it yesterday. I laughed so hard. So they had gone out. The cats had gone out, and and I had gone to get them back in. You know, to let them back in. Or I had gone out for something, and they came. Both of them came back. So Clyde dumps a mouse, dead mouse, just drops it there. Like, look what I did. I'm like, good boy. That's your job. Good job. So, anyway, getting back to this. So, we have a lot more demand on our power grid now than we have ever had before. Again, saying silver will hit 150 by April. That won't shock me if that happens, honestly. It won't shock me if that happens at all. But, excuse me. What was I going to say here? Sorry, guys. My brain is not, I got like brain fog at the moment because I just, so the power grid itself is antiquated, needs an overhaul, which would cost billions or maybe $1 trillion just to redo the entire system because it is so bad. It's so weak right now. And as more and more people get on and are using and demand goes up, I want you to think about this, okay? Now, you think about this cold weather we're having. Now, I'm in West Virginia. Now, I know I've been talking to, my family up in New York, and it's been a whole lot colder up there. I want you to think about New York City, okay? We're going to go with New York City for a second because they put all those great laws in up there that any new construction had to be all electric, right? So I want you to think about this. All electric, so no propane, nothing like that in these new it's so old with the poles that are rotting and brittle, 50-year-old copper. Oh, yeah. I mean, you look at some of those poles, and a lot of times the only times they replace those poles is when they snap off in a storm. But so you're looking at these places down there in New York City. They don't have no propane anymore. They don't have that at all. And so what happens is with that, what do you think their gas or not gas because they don't have gas? It's just electric bills. What do you think their electric bills are going to be like with this cold snap? And they're trying to stay warm, right? And they're in their apartments. It's going to cost a whole lot more to continue to try to stay warm. I gotta actually. It's going to cost a whole lot more. So their electric bills are going to be astronomical. I mean, and that's also being done by design. It's another way of control. They don't want the propane because you can kick on the propane. It's a lot cheaper to run the propane, to heat than it is just running straight electric all the time. So that's an issue. And like I said, all this new construction that they're doing in New York City, and like if it's I think if it's more than 3 stories, it has to be all electric. I believe that's how the laws range. But yeah, I saw silver drop. It's a little depressing, but I bought in the low 20s. It'll go back up, Mike. Don't worry about that. It'll go back up. Yeah, I don't think we're even close to where silver's going to end up at. Where's that old saying, buy on the dips? Probably not a bad idea. But anyway, our power grid is in rough shape. With more people using it, you're going to be subject to more blackouts, rolling blackouts, all those type of stuff. You look how bad things get now, like in California in the summertime when it's like super, super hot. Look at how bad it gets now. It's really, really bad. And they have a whole bunch of issues. There's rolling blackouts. They're trying to restrict people. Am I running a fever? I don't think I have a fever. I'm just congested pretty bad. And I feel like crap. So, but yeah, it's I just feel like garbage right now. So if I'm not super clear like I normally am, that's why, because I'm like clouded. I feel like pressure, in my head and stuff. So, but I got my tea. I'm drinking my tea. So they're trying to do away with fossil fuels. A lot of these places are, and see, this is what kills me. This is what kills me about that. Okay. So we're supposed to, the United States of America, we're supposed to be, we got to go green, green, green. No more fossil fuels. They want to, Bloomberg and a crew want to stop coal. They don't want, they don't want the propane, any of that type of stuff. They don't want gas either. So they don't want any of those things. They want everything to be electric. But our system is not designed to handle that electric. It's not even close. And it won't be unless they do like I said, unless they do a massive overhaul. So that's a huge problem. And but at the same time, you have places like India and China amping up, doing all kinds of new coal-fired plants and all that type of stuff. Look at how much stuff India dumps in the rivers, which goes where? Goes into the ocean, right? They've restricted that here in the United States, but you think about places like I'm from New York, so I think about Kodak back in its heyday. Like when I was younger, Kodak was like the big top player in the area. They had they dumped so many chemicals and stuff into the rivers, which went into Lake Ontario. It was crazy. Like you literally, even to this day, if you're watching the Genesee River, okay, and the Genesee River is brown. It's not white, not not clear water. It's brown, and you watch that brown water go out into Lake Ontario. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I mean, there's a lot of that going on. They've been doing that forever. But you've got places again like India, and stuff like that. They just dump everything into the rivers all the time. So I don't know if you guys have seen the videos. Dump trucks. They back the dump truck up and dump it all in the river. I'm like, really? So I mean, that happens quite a bit. Like, have you ever watched any of those shows, Survivor shows, like with Les Stroud and stuff like that? And they put him on an island somewhere, right? Some island in the middle of nowhere, and then they got to survive for like 7 days or whatever. The amount of garbage in bottles and everything like that on the beach, it's insane. It's insane, just because of all the garbage being dumped in the water and stuff all the time. So, but again, sorry. I will encourage all of you to get your own power source as a backup. It doesn't have to be an elaborate system. You ain't got to put $10,000 into a system. I'm trying to think what I got. See, now my system that I have here, most of the money in my system is batteries. I got $6,000 just in batteries. So, that happens. You got to have that, storage capacity. But I was going to tell you guys this too. So I had charged it up earlier. I went out this morning. I charged it up this morning, the system, and got it up to 95%. And I went out at 5 o'clock. Went out at 5 o'clock to give more water to the collie and the puppies and the boys. I gave them more water as well. And I was checking eggs one more time. So I checked it then, and it was only down to 90%. So the batteries are still at 90%. So it only gone down like 5% in 7 hours. So I was like, that's cool. That's cool. But anyway, going back to this, what I was talking about, we're supposed to sacrifice the U.S. all the time, and they tell you you're doing it for the good of the world and the planet and blah 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 and all this other crap they feed us all the time. But these other countries just do whatever they want to do, and they got a whole lot more people than we do. What, India's now the leading country of the world with 1.1 billion. China's right there with them with 1.1 billion, and we have 359 million. But you're going to make a difference. Remember that. That's, you're making a difference. Bull. Bull. Now, do I think that we should have green alternatives? I do. But until they have a way of being able to store the power properly, being able to distribute the power properly, it's not going to work. And you could do it on a small scale. You could do it for like a small town, but to do it countrywide is just not realistic at this point in time. But I honestly believe and again, guys, it doesn't have to be an elaborate system. If you get a couple of marine deep cycle batteries, all right, that ain't going to break the bank to get those. Okay, you're looking at maybe 120, 130 bucks a piece for the batteries. And if you even want to go a little bit higher and get something better, you can. That's going to be up to you depending on what you want to spend. Okay, but they have all kinds of batteries that you can get online. I got those 2 batteries that just got sent to me. Those batteries are 259 bucks a piece, regularly. So, I mean, those are, let's put it like this. Something is better than nothing. If the grid goes down, which I do, I'm telling you, how long have how long, let me ask you, we'll do it this way real quick. How many times have I said stuff on this channel, right? And then it comes to fruition, right? Buy food, buy food, buy food. It's never going to be cheaper than it is right now. What's it doing? It continues to go up. Food prices are, right? I said, buy silver, buy silver, buy silver. Diversify. Make sure you have junk silver, 1 ounce bars, 1 ounce coins, whatever. I push that a lot too. I haven't been wrong on those things, okay? So when I'm telling you that I truly believe that we're going to have a grid down situation and it's going to be bad, I truly believe that, just because of the simple fact is, again, that is our Achilles heel in this country, okay? That's our Achilles heel, is the power grid. And if I was an enemy of this country, right? Okay, here's something else. I'm bouncing around because my brain is that way. What happened? Let me ask this. What happened to all the Chinese military-age males that came across the southern border? Are you seeing them? Let me ask this. Are you seeing them in any of these facilities anywhere? Right? Are you seeing any of them anywhere like that? Right? They're going somewhere. They're here in the United States. Where are they going? What are they doing? Right? But you're not seeing them. You're not seeing them in places where, that you would normally see people that were immigrants coming in that were, getting help and all that type of stuff. You're not seeing that. Somebody said they're opening new restaurants. Oh my God, that's funny. That's funny. But I'm saying is, you're not seeing them, okay? They aren't in West Texas County Jail rosters a lot. Exactly. Because they come in here, they're not causing trouble, they're not acting stupid, but they're going somewhere, and you're not seeing them a lot. And a lot of them have a lot of money when they're coming in here. So it's quite interesting, in my opinion, Where are they going? What are they doing? Are they being sent here? Are there places here set up for them to go? Camps, for say? Who knows? What's their intent? What do they plan on doing? Now, and I'm not just talking about the Chinese guys, okay? I'm saying, um, the a lot of the Middle Eastern people that come over here, they're all running the gas stations and stuff. By the way, 7-Eleven and all that, or your convenience store. But no, all joking aside, there are people in this country that are here, if you want to call them sleeper cells or whatever the case may be, waiting on orders, waiting to do what they're told to do. And they're all over the place. And again, if I'm an enemy of this country, what am I going for? You don't need to go for the big kill total. You don't need to go for the big shock and awe numbers, type of thing. You go after the power grid. Simple, real easy, because then we'll destroy each other. That's as simple as that. Again, because of the simple fact that state of Maine marijuana plantations, over 230 are owned by China. That don't surprise me either. But again, you got to pay attention to all this kind of stuff. They're waiting. When the time comes, they go after the power grid. Then they got to sit back and wait. That's all they got to do. They don't have to, you think about, the suicide bombers and all that type of stuff. Now, you could have some of that as well, okay? But the reality is, all they have to do is go after the grid, put the grid down for a length of time, and then they just sit back and they wait. And they wait for us to go bananas on each other, which is exactly what will happen, folks. I'm telling you, when you think about, again, that 95% of the people in this country are not prepared for a 2-week disaster, let alone anything longer. That should scare the crap out of you. That should scare the crap out of you, okay? So my advice is get your own power sources. Couple of solar panels, and I'm not talking about the Harbor Freight cheap 100-watt solar panels, okay? I'm not talking, don't waste your money on that. Get yourself a couple of solar panels online, 300, 400-watt solar panels that's going to bring in a decent amount of power. Have it set up so you can charge your phone, so you can charge your laptop, or be able to plug your laptop in, to be able to run some lights. Your basic stuff that you're going to want to have, depending on, wants and needs, will go for how big you want to go with your solar system. But you should start somewhere. Start small and then work your way from there. And if you do that, you're going to be in so much better shape. So much better shape. Because when that time comes, JJ said it's already happening. I believe it. So, a Chinese woman walking across the border said she was told what state to report and it would be given her orders. That doesn't surprise me either. That, like I said, that doesn't surprise me either. But if you have some kind of a power source, again, it gives you such a huge advantage over everybody else. And I'm all about trying to take advantage, trying to look for that edge, trying to do something, that's going to help me in the long run. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm always looking for, so, morning lights. I just woke up from an unexpected nap. Naps are awesome. Morning light, by the way. Naps are awesome. So that's a one thing too. When you get older, it's like naps are like, oh, yeah, I'm going to take a nap. Well, we get tired, Hella. Yes. So, but as long as it's voluntary, it's right. Oh my God! Think about being a kid and trying to fight that nap. No, I'm not tired. I don't want to go to sleep. And you hit the pillow and you're out. And then you get older and you go, No, I'm going to go take a nap. So, hey, Broken Dolly, welcome, welcome. So, yeah, but again, like I said, get yourself some kind of a power source. We're always looking for the edge, folks. Always looking for that edge. I want to have, you know, a better advantage than most other people. That's all I'm looking for. That's all I want. A big solar system will need to run a microwave and a refrigerator and an AMP8 heater at 120 volts. Yeah, that's how big. Well, like I said, I've told you guys with my system here, if I am running my heater, okay, because you're talking about draw on the system. If I'm running my heater, I don't run the microwave. Now I have my fridge is obviously plugged in. Yeah, it sounds like fun, JJ. I would like that. I don't see that happening anytime soon, but it wouldn't be a bad thing. And there she comes. Hello. What took you so long? I've been online for doing this stream for 25 minutes. Hi. She's been awesome. I will tell you, she knows I don't feel good, so she's been so chill. I know, baby, you're a good girl. I know. Thank you. Okay, down, down, down. Good girl. But yeah, she. You have a very calming tone of voice, and I'm ashamed to say how many times I go to sleep on live streams. Oh my God, that's awesome. That's good. I'm happy to help, Helen, if that helps you sleep. If you're having a hard time sleeping some night, just throw on one of my old live streams. Okay, no, that's enough now. No, you're not going out yet. No. This is what I deal with. Snotty, bratty children. No. Come on, down. No. Well, then don't do it. But anyway, give yourself the advantage. Get some kind of a power source. Like I said, a couple batteries, cheap inverter from Harbor Freight. Get your wire. Get yourself a couple of solar panels, and that way you can get it so that you can plug something in right off of the inverter, because a lot of those inverters have plugs right in them. So you can do it that way. It works out really, really good that way. Again, start small, and then if you want to build your system. Oh, but I was saying, like with the camper, if I want to run the microwave, I will kill the heater, because I don't want that to kick on while the microwave's kicked on, because it'll be too much of a draw all at once, and it'll shut the breaker will pop, and then I'll have to go out, pop the breaker back, So I just learned over time, if I'm going to use a microwave, I turn the heat off for that couple of minutes that I'm going to use a microwave or the air conditioning, whatever the case may be, summer or winter, and simple as that. But again, I know most people like the convenience. They love the convenience of just going and flipping a switch and everything works great and it's not a problem. That lulls you, right? That lulls you into a false sense of security. That's what that does. Absolutely does. Guys, we got 214 in the chat. We got 113 thumbs up. So again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. I do appreciate that. Really makes a big difference with the algorithms as well. So I thank you for that reason as well. And also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon for all notifications as well. Oh, I feel fine from the fall. I'm not sore at all. No, I just, my knee, my left knee was tweaked where I landed it, like basically on the ground. I fell on my knee, and my ribs were sore yesterday. Much, much better today. So, now, like I said, I was already feeling poorly before I fell, but I just fell because of the ice. Now, today we've had it's been a light snow all day. I mean, when I'm talking like a powdery mist kind of, maybe an inch of snow, but it's just put enough snow on everything so that when I was out walking around doing my normal chores today, it was not bad walking out there today because everything other than that, it was all glazed in ice, and it was not fun. It was not fun, but dogs are like children. I have one in my lap right now. Yeah, they are. They definitely are. And there's Kim. How you doing? But anyway, guys, we have, like I said, we have an opportunity here to help ourselves, and I think it's really important that we do so. Again, like with my group, other group members, everybody that's here should have their own solar system set up. It doesn't have to be a huge scale system, but it's enough to get some lights, some being able to charge up your batteries, to be able to charge your electronics, whatever you're doing. You know what I mean? And I think that that's funny. Did you come into contact with someone that's sick? I did, Steve. We had gone out, not this Thursday that just happened, but last Thursday, and he was sick, and he's like, man, I don't know what happened, and I was like, well, stay away from me. And then we had a beer together the other night. Just he's sitting over there, I'm sitting here, just talking, and I guess that was enough. So whatever he got, he gave to me, and so now I'm dealing with it. But like I said, it is what it is. It's just a cold. I'll deal with it. I generally, when I don't feel good, I just sleep. That's what I do. Very generous of him. Yes, it was very kind. And he was trying to figure out how he got it because when we went out, we got propane, and then we went to the store. So he must have run into somebody, at the store or something that was sick that got him sick. I mean, it's as simple, it's easy as that. I'm going to tell you what. Think about with having kids. Okay, before I had kids, I never got sick ever. Never got sick. And I used to laugh at people and be like, man, you guys are sick all the time. And they're like, well, the kids go to school, they get it, they bring it home, and and then it spreads through the whole house. And that's how it goes. They go to school, they touch everything, little snot knockers, and it spreads like wildfire. So that happens. But yeah, I'm going to have to do something like some kind of crampons or something, because trying to walk around on that slick ice is not fun in any way, shape, or form. But so once I had my kids, then I figured it out. But yeah, it's when people talk. Okay, I don't even want to go on that topic. I'm not gonna. I don't want. I don't want. I don't want YouTube to dox me more than they already do. I hate when people use a certain word when they talk about the flu. Everything is not the flu anymore. Everything is the C word. And it's nonsense because it's not. It's the flu. So, just saying. But again, going back to what we're talking about here, as we continue to raise our population, as we continue to not address the elephant in the room, which is the power grid. Yeah, exactly. Prepper. All that is the flu. But again, it's like things are going to get worse with the power system. And again, if there is an attack on the power system, which I do believe is coming, absolutely it's coming. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's just a matter of when it's going to happen. And could you imagine? We're in this polar vortex right now, and still there's like, what is there, 50,000 people in Tennessee? Like, still, I think there's still 200,000 people. Actually, I can tell you. Hold on a second. I can tell you the numbers. Still 200,000 customers right now. 200,671 customers right now, still with no power. 77,000 in Mississippi, 70,000 in Tennessee, 31,000 in Louisiana. So, you're talking about a lot of people still don't have power. And what are we in day 5 from the storm? And we have had this cold snap that's happened. Those people are truly, truly suffering right now. And I can guarantee you that the majority of them were not ready. We're not ready for an extended power outage. They never are. I'm hopeful that this is a wake-up call for some people. And they realize, holy crap, the system is fragile. We need to be proactive and help ourselves. And I think that is the Tennessee low tonight is 14. Yeah. So that's, and they don't have a ton of wood stoves down. I mean, there's some, I'm sure, but, a lot of people don't have wood stoves. But again, you have to be proactive, be smart, be ready, have alternative ways to heat, have alternative power, have plenty of food, have a way to purify water. I mean, all those things are important. All those things are important, Having a decent shelter, having, extra blankets and, long johns and wool socks and all that kind of stuff. I'll tell you what, I have, for me personally, ever since I've been a kid, if my feet are cold, I can't sleep. And my feet have always been cold. So it's like something that I've dealt with all my life. So what I do a lot of times, I'll throw a pair of socks on, but I'll put like the big insulated socks on. And man, that works great. That works great. So, my feet are warm, I can go to sleep. And then like when I'm sick, I generally throw like a long john shirt on. So, I'll do that too. And that makes a difference. But we're in Florida. Being prepared is a way of life for us. It's not unusual. Well, because you guys deal with so many hurricanes and stuff like that, and that makes sense. But the number of people that still don't that live in Florida is amazing to me. It's amazing to me. But again, put yourself in a position to win, because it is a game. You may not think so. You may not want to think about that, but it is absolutely a game. All of it's a game. And like I said to you guys before, I like to win. Simple as that. I mean, this weather that we've dealt with now for the last week or so, is it inconvenient? Sure, it's inconvenient. It sucks. It's not fun. You don't want to go outside. You don't really want to do a whole lot, but you do what you have to. Like I told Steve, I said tomorrow I'm going to go in the pavilion. I'm going to fire up the wood stove because I want to melt water for 2 reasons. No, number one, I want to do dishes. I got to do dishes, so I can't go out and wash dishes outside right now because it's not very pleasant. But I can do it in the pavilion. And I also want to get more water stored up for the animals. So that's kind of what. And I guess someone holding your feet to the fire would affect you. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Like I said, we all need a wake-up call. And I'll tell you, anybody that's on here, anybody that watches this channel that is a prepper can put it down to one event that was their wake-up call. And for me, it was Hurricane Katrina in 2005 was my wake-up call. That was my wake-up call. I looked at that situation. I looked at everything that happened and how it all went down. And I went, man, we're not ready. And we can't rely on the government. I mean, that was probably the biggest thing I took out of that, was realizing that we cannot rely on the government. We have to rely on ourselves, because they're not going to be there when that time comes. Or if they are, they're going to be a day late and a dollar short. Well, and again, I don't want to go to the shelter with 2,000 of my closest friends and deal with that nonsense. I want to stay home. I want to ride it out, do what I got to do, and go from there. Period. End of story. And that's it. That's it. So, and again, when a worst case scenario happens, which is coming, we will deal with what we got to deal with then. Simple as that. Oh, a lot of violence in shelters. Absolutely. You look at the Superdome, guys, for Katrina. Now, you probably aren't going to find a whole lot of information on that because it was so bad. But the stories that I heard about the Superdome, because that's where they put a lot of people, and how bad it was, that was bad. That was real bad. So everybody's not going to have the same values that you have. Everybody's not going to be decent. So, you got to really, like I said, pick your poison, right? What do you want to do? How do you want to do it? And how do you want to deal with it? So, but like I said, I would rather stay home, ride it out, do what I got to do, take care of what I got to take care of, and that's it. So, but like I said, my mission tomorrow is water. And the thing is, what you got to understand, when you're melting snow, you're looking at with the snow, you could have a big old pot of snow, and you get down to the end, you got that much water. So you don't get a ton of water out of snow, but if you do it over and over and over again, it will add up. But so that's kind of what, excuse me, that's kind of what I'm looking at with that is, do it. What else do I got to do tomorrow? You know what I mean? So I don't want to run out of water for my animals, so I got to make water. I do want to wash my dishes, so I'll do what I got to do. And if I'm in the pavilion, I got the wood stove kicking and all that, and I am going to do the duct tape for right now on those cracks, guys. So that was a good idea. Whoever suggested that, I am going to do that because I just don't want to have all that cold coming up through the floor. And there's like 3 spots in there where that happens. So I definitely am going to do that. And then, we have the insulation. It's just a matter of getting underneath and getting it up there. So, but I would like it to be a little bit warmer before I go underneath the building and put that in. So, but I did yurt camping in Idaho in December one year. We snowshoed up 1.5 miles. We had a wood stove and melted snow all day and all night. I believe it. But again, guys, just stay vigilant. Don't let the distractions distract you. That's what they want them to do. Everything that's going on, you've got so many people that are on edge and so many people that are upset. When you have one side and the narrative is, the Nazis and they're taking away your rights and they're kidnapping American citizens, which is not true. But if that's all you're seeing all the time, that's what you're going to believe. Okay. So, you have to look at that and realize people are on edge and it's not any kind of fun. Yeah. Watch out for the yellow snow. Yeah. Right. But you just got to pay attention to all those things. And if you do that, you're going to be okay. Just focus on what you can control and you're going to be just fine. So, yeah. And again, with all the fraud and the theft going on, that needs to stop too. And people in positions of real power, governors and senators and all that type of stuff, they're the ones also need to go to jail if it's found out that they're involved in that. right? Like Ilhan Omar. I'm sorry, but it has nothing to do with her being Somali. It has everything to do with fraud, and she's been behind a lot of what's going on, and they're investigating her. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and do egg count. So, how many eggs today? Yes or no for Miss Betty White? And how many of the Easter eggers laid today? So, I'll give you guys a minute to get your guesses in, and we will go from there. So, again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. And I do appreciate that ahead of time. And also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I thank you ahead of time for that as well. And that's the end of the tea. But I got my water bottle. Yes, I'm still bullish on silver. I think silver will bounce back. It needed to have a correction because it had been going up so much so fast. I think you'll see silver bounce back and get well above where it was before. Again, nothing's really changed, right? Nothing's really changed. The economy is the economy. The dollar's being devalued on an exponential level, and people are hurting. So, yeah, I think that silver will definitely bounce back. I know, like I said, it lost $30 today, which is a huge amount. It's like 25% of its total value. I think something like that. But it happens. Yeah, when it has the dips, that's always the time to jump in. It's always the time to jump in. All right. If you had the same exact guess as Malachi's Corner, which is Kim, 6 eggs today. Yes for Miss Betty White. And 1 Easter egger. JJ, you were close. You were close, but not close enough. Then you are 100% correct. And I think she was the only one that I saw that had that. Which is funny, because that's the same exact amount that was Wednesday. I was actually surprised to get 6 eggs today, to be honest with you. So congratulations to Kim. You've won absolutely nothing, but you are happy about it. So there you go. But anyway, I hate being sick. And I've always been the type of person, whenever I've been sick, it's like, leave me alone. Now you want to go out? Hold on, guys. I'm going to let her out now. Okay. All right, go. She was fairly patient, but it was just a matter. Of she was going to come back. I knew she was coming back. A doggy door. That'd be a pretty big doggy door. That would be a pretty big doggy door. No, I'll do it the way I'm doing it. But I'm like, when I'm sick, it's like, leave me alone. Don't bother me. I'm going to sleep. And that's, I got vitamin C. And here's the worst part, and I'm at fault for this, okay? Have I been taking my vitamin C, zinc, and vitamin D3? No. I haven't taken it in months. So got sick, so now I started taking it again. So, but hopefully that'll help get better faster. And I'll just do what I got to do. Yeah, skunks, squirrels, and mice love doggy doors. Let's not forget raccoons. Raccoons love doggy doors as well. Free access to get in. Yeah, so no doggy doors. You get the kind of doggy door I'd have to have. You'd be able to get deer, and also bears would be able to come in. uh, yeah, stick my face in the steam. Yeah, yep, yep. So anyway, guys, I'm just like I said, get yourself alternative power sources. Get those things set up. Um, Again, it's a learning curve. I'm going to tell you right now. So if you set it up, play with it, see how it does, and then go from there. Will you be able to hook up your well on solar power? Would that work? The well is 240. So the solar is 120. So no, that would not work with the well. Uh, honestly, in hindsight, in hindsight, we got to admit our mistakes. Okay, got to admit our mistakes. In hindsight, the well was a terrible thing to do. Awful. The well doesn't produce enough to say so. 25 gallons an hour. Okay, that's crap. That's crap. We dumped a lot of money into that well. We would have been better off putting all that money into rain catchment. Putting in an underground tank, a 5 or 10,000 gallon underground tank, and then doing it that way. That would have been the better spending of the resources, and that's being honest. That freaking well has been an albatross. I'm not gonna lie. Terrible decision, but what are you gonna do? You live and you learn. And then we ended up doing rain catchment anyway. Not on that kind of scale that we should have done it. I think we should still, definitely do more. I would love to be able to. I would love to be able to put an underground tank in here, and have 10,000 gallon tank underground, and fill that puppy up with water, and then we're never gonna have to. We don't have to worry about it freezing. We don't have to worry about any of that. So yeah, I mean, but again, you live and you learn. You learn from your mistakes. That's what it comes down to. And that was a mistake, and that was an expensive mistake. Now, can we still use the well? Yes. Hey, prepper, I'd feel better. I'm going to bed. I now have two 24-volt batteries. Took a while. Good night, my prepping brothers and sisters and screw tyrants. Thank you very much for the donation, my friend, and thank you very much for the statement as well. And get some sleep. But, it's just, we live and learn, guys. We all make mistakes, and I'm always, yeah, a regular generator. If you got 240 on a generator, it will run the well. So what I could do, okay, I could pump water out of the well for I don't know, an hour into a large tank, stop it, wait a day, do it again, give it time to recover, and do it again. So those are things, like I said, again, you live and you learn. But I mean, the well is not going to not be used. Okay. It's just not, it's not going to be what we thought, I guess is the right way to kind of explain that. It's not going to be what we thought it was going to be. And it happens, it happens. Yeah, they do have solar well pumps, but we're talking 350 feet deep, I think was how far down we went with our well here. So, and I have been told something else about that whole situation with the well company that did our well, and I'm not going to get into that on here. But yeah, it's, outsiders, not locals type of situation, take advantage of. I'll just put it like that. So, but if that's what happened, it happened. Can't cry over spilt milk. It is what it is. So, Do you have enough continuous wind? See, with the wind is a problem. What a lot of people don't think about with wind, too many moving parts. Okay, way too many moving parts. How many wind turbines you see out there, guys? And think about this. Okay, people's private wind turbines, the big wind turbines that they have. How many times do you see them down, not running? Why? Because parts break down, don't work well. Way too much money that you have to put in. No, it doesn't have any sulfur smell, JJ. But you know, so when you're dealing with that, you know, it's better. It's better to go with solar. That's my advice. You guys can do whatever you want to do, but too many moving parts with wind turbines, and yeah, you know, it's better to go with the solar. Those solar panels will last more than 30 years. They may not produce 100% in 30 years, but they'll still be working. So that's the kind of way I like to do it. Make it as easy on myself as I possibly can. So, but you know, that's but you know, like I said, we have when the creeks, when we get the spring rains, and those the creeks are running the way that they're going. If we have the piping, we could fill a tank, a huge tank, in a very short time. You know, that way. So you utilize the water when it's there. Our creeks don't run year round, you know, but you know they do run pretty good though. You know, certain points of the year, and if we do that, that would be really really good. So, but hydro would be kind of cool, I think, on a small scale. Yeah, I've thought about that as well. You know, but again, our you know we don't have water year round, so you get if you're going to invest the money, if you got a creek that runs year round and it's always flowing, go for it. You know what I mean, and that would work. But we have periods where you know we have a couple of months every year where we get like no rain, and those creeks aren't flowing when there's no rain. So, like when all this snow that we've had, which is not a ton of snow, but when that all melts off, the creeks will be flowing. They'll be flowing really, really well, you know, and that'll be great. But that's only for a short period of time. So you know you got to think what is the most reliable way? Where should I put my money? And again, I already said it earlier, and I'm going to say it again: solar, solar, solar. You know, I'd rather go ahead and pick up extra solar panels, put a new rack in, get that mounted, because that increases my opportunity to get more power coming in, even on bad days. So, yeah, Generacs are a good thing to have. Definitely a good thing to have. Well, it depends on how long. You should probably have your battery room close to where your solar panels are. You don't want to have a long run because you are going to lose power that way. Doing it that way. So if you see where my battery room is in conjunction where the solar is, it's very close. You know, so and that's done deliberately because you don't want to have a long run. If I had wind turbines on top of the hill, I would need to have something up there right next to the wind turbines, like another shack with batteries in it and stuff like that. And again, it just makes more sense to up my solar than to put the money into something like that. Yes, the spring box has water in it year round, Helen. Yeah, that's a really believe me, I've thought about that as another alternative water source when the time comes. Yeah, that's a really cool thing because that's always got water in it, always. So yeah, I pay attention to those things too. Believe me, we would definitely be utilizing that. So anyway, guys, I'm going to leave you with my favorite saying: STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. If you set realistic goals that you can reach and you follow that mantra, you can accomplish anything that you set your mind to. It may not go as fast as you want it to, It never does. It never does. But if you work methodically at it, it will get done. Then you can check that off the list and you move on to the next thing. Um, Again, don't listen to negative people telling you what you cannot accomplish. They're all over the place, and that's what they do all the time. So, anyway, be safe. I will see you guys on Sunday for the next live stream. And hang in there, and I will see you all later. Have a great night. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.